Good morning, everyone. It's me, Rory Paddock, for picksfromthepaddock.co.uk. Coming to you live at just gone 9:35 a.m. It is Friday, the 21st of April, and I am going to be focusing on just solely the Emerald Isle with 7 selections, 4 from today, Friday, and 3 for tomorrow on Saturday from 4 different meetings. I think there's 5 selections on the flat, 2 selections over jumps. And I'm going to personally be putting them in multiples of doubles, trebles, 4-folds, 5-folds, 6-folds, and hopefully we can land a 7-fold accumulator. So I'll cut straight to the chase. You don't want to listen to me. You want to know these 7 horses you should be backing. All of them are win, relatively short prices. So hopefully we land a fair few of them. So first things first, let's bring up the race cards as always. There we go. You can see across the bottom of the screen, the action is from Cork and Kilbeggan today on Friday, and Limerick and Navan tomorrow. So, first off, we go to Cork. We're going to go to their first race. It's the 158. And I am going to side with Sea Gardens. See the runners and riders on screen there. Scroll through the race card that's put there. Sea Gardens is the current 5-2 favourite. You've got Walsingham and the Black Tiger both at 5-1 there. And you're then looking at Dutch Gold at 7s, and it's double figure odds the remainder. Oh, sorry, I apologise. Prove it's at 15-2, and then it's double figure odds the remainder of the field. You can see on screen I've gone for Sea Gardens. The reason I've gone for Sea Gardens, looking through the race personally, look, you've got Dutch Gold, who's probably gone the closest to shaking off their maiden tag. That horse obviously finished as, you see on screen there, runner-up last time. That horse with Colin Keane at No Mead trained is the horse that's probably gone nearest to winning so far in their career. And then you've both got Prove It and Walsingham, who have the benefit of a solid recent effort. Those should certainly be in the mix. All that being said, as you can see on screen, it is Sea Gardens who gets my vote. He finished 4th in a really strong-looking maiden on his sole 2-year-old start. The aforementioned Walsingham actually finished 1 spot ahead in 3rd that day, but I fully expect the form to be reversed here. The winner and the runner-up in that maiden both have multiple classic entries, and if the Joseph O'Brien trained runner has progressed over the winter, he could claim his first success at the second time of asking. Sea Gardens, my selection there for the 158. Obviously, another little mention you have to sort of give really for the Black Tiger, purely based on connections. But I'm hoping that horse hasn't progressed too much since finishing 9th on debut. Sea Gardens there for Joseph O'Brien, Declan Madonna in the 158. We're going to stick with Cork. I want to scroll all the way down the race cards until we get to the 5:23. So 1 mile, 2 furlong handicap. You can see there various horses. Velner is 7-2. You've got Cold Steel at 7-1. Mushaw is the 5-2 favourite for Ben Cohen and Johnny Murter. Top weight, Shinokel at 9-1. And you can see the rest of them are double figure odds. The one I'm going to go with, however, is Velner there for Willie Lee and Paddy Toomey. Currently a prize second favourite at 7-2. That's my selection. They're in the 5:23. Again, a really competitive looking race. But Velner is the one that I'm going to go with. He avoided the track as a 2-year-old, didn't make a racecourse debut until he was 3, but put in 3 really promising efforts with his first 3 starts on the racecourse. All of those culminated in victory over a trio of promising Ballydoyle horses, one of which went on to win the Irish Cesarewitch before then competing in the Group 1 Ascot Gold Cup last year. So that looks really decent, solid form. He's been handled with kid gloves by connections. That has to probably be some of the strongest form available in what is a relatively decent handicap. But I don't think Paddy Toomey's horse really has to be a superstar to win this. Looks to be a horse on the up. And if he's fit and ready to rock, first time up here on his seasonal return, then Vellner is my selection in the 5.23. So that's Cork done. Sticking with obviously Friday's action, I've got two more selections, both of which come over jumps at Kilbeggan. So let's switch it up. Let's go to the race card at Kilbeggan and we'll see what I've gone with there. We'll scroll to the top here, bring up Kilbeggan, and there we go. So my first selection at Kilbeggan comes in the 5.10. It's a very obvious one. 16 runners, 2 mile, 3.5 furlongs. It's the odds-on favourite Zaidi for Gordon Elliott. Michael O'Sullivan, who is having a sensational end to the season. He's the one for me. 5 to 6, obviously you're not going to get rich, but that's why I'm going to be backing all these horses in various multiples, doubles, trebles, etc. Now, obviously, it represents big connections. Powerhouse trainer of Gordon Elliott. Zaidi, looks the one to be on. Basically, the trainer, Gordon Elliott, delayed this horse's stable debut after being purchased for a sizable fee from France back in November, but has done very little wrong after that. He won a National Hunt flat race before claiming second spot in a massive 24-runner race earlier in the month. This looks a much easier task in comparison to the one that he competed in last time. Well, you've got the likes of Fame After the Glory, Long Ago and Far Behind, and I think it's Scraddin. Those can pose a threat, but it should be Elliott's runner that takes the spoils and takes all the beating. Zaidi to win the 5.10 at Kilbeggan. Then an hour and a half later in the 6.40, so we've got Zaidi. Let's have a look there. Bear me a second, let me bring that up on screen. So Zaidi, there we go, in the 5.10 at Kilbeggan is the one for me to win. Obviously, current odds on shot. Then we've got to scroll to an hour and a half later, like I said, until we get to the 6.40. And it's a handicap chase. 11 runners are set to go to post. You can see them there. We've got the likes of Galley Flight and Oscar Romero, current 4-1 joint favourites. We've got Arctic Ambition at 6s. We've got Don Rua Dream at 7s. Hunting Town at 11-2. The Connector at 17-2. And it's double figure odds the remainder. Obviously, this looks quite a competitive looking race in regard to the odds. There's no standout clear-cut favourites. All 5 or 6 horses at near the head of the market at least. But I'm going to go with Hunting Town. That's the one for me. For, you can see, Edward O'Grady. Now, the reason I've gone for this one, and I'll be completely honest and blunt, Hunting Town made a return to action. I think it was nearly 80 days on the sidelines and produced a very encouraging third. That was at Thurles. I'm sure he's likely to come on for that effort. He's only the age of 6. He's still capable of further progression. He's got a former cause victory in the bag. He'll enjoy these race conditions. And with the addition of promising young jockey Ben Harvey taking an additional £5 off his back, he is capable of making the top 3 once again. Hunting Town, to not be far away, it's probably not one of my most confident selections, but I'd be shocked if it didn't make the frame. Hunting Down there, my tip in the 6.40 at Kilbeggan. So those are Friday's selections done, but I did say I've got another 3 awaiting. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to go to the race cards, skip on over to tomorrow, bring up Saturday's action. Let's have a look here. So tomorrow's racing. And where are we going to go first? Well, I think we're going to go to Limerick. Limerick and their lucky last, it's the 5.30. It's a 1 mile, 3.5 furlong handicap for 4-year-olds and upwards, rated 47 to 65. It's really low grade sort of stuff, in all honesty. Look through the current runners there. 16 are set to go to post. And you've got, obviously, the 3 reserves there. So, which of the 16 am I going to go with? Obviously, we can't see any of the odds as of yet. The markets haven't opened. But the one that I'm going to go with there in the 5.30 is Secret Rock. Secret Rock is the one for me to go close in the 5:30. I think the horse showed vast improvement last time out when fourth. Like I said, look, in the 16 entries, you can't be ridiculously confident about anything. If you had to sort of have a shortlist, I think Barometer, Jude, and Fond Farewell would be decent opposition. But Secret Rock showed vast improvement, like I said, when fourth on his seasonal flat return. He had a fitness edge with a decent set of jumping efforts, and based on his last performance, should relish the drop-in trip. A tough race to find the winner, but Tony Martin's runner with Colin Keane in the saddle, which I think is a massive plus, should be there or thereabouts. Secret Rock to take the spoils in the 5:30. So we've got two left for Saturday, and there's a very decent looking card at Navan. So that's where we're going to head on over. Let's go to those race cards and we'll get that changed. There we go, looking through lots of promising Aidan O'Brien types. One of their big races of the day is the listed Fillies Stakes over 1 mile, 1 mile, 2 furlongs. I think potentially you'll see one, maybe two of the runners in this race end up in the Irish Oaks. But thankfully, because it's a big race, we do get the odds. We've got current favourite Jackie O at 5-2. Then we've got Faniska and we've got Lumiere Rock, both at 4s. We have Keep in Touch at 11-2. Diamonds Are Forever at 7-1. Village Voice at 9s, and it's double figure odds, the remaining 3 horses in the lineup. So who am I going to go with in this listed race? Well, it's another boring selection, I guess, but it is the favourite. It is going to be Jackie O for the Ballydoyle team there in the 4:05 at Navan. Look, it's a quality looking listed race. You've got, most of the top Irish yards are represented. Obviously, you've got the O'Briens with Aidan and Joseph. You've got Bolger, Weld, Harrington, and even De Bromhead, all with entrance set to take their lineup and enter the stalls on Saturday. Obviously, I want to select one of the only 2 runners who have their 100% record intact. Both hail from the Ballydoyle team. You've got Diamonds Are Forever, but it is, like I said, Jackie O, the one that I'm going to go with. She was a gutsy and impressive winner of her maiden on debut just 27 days ago, which also gives her a fitness edge over most of these. Further progression lightly, she looks the one to be on in this competitive affair with, I think, potentially that maiden she won. You'll see a fair few winners come out of it. So Jackie O, especially with the booking of Ryan Moore, gets the nod, the favourite to take the spoils in the 4:05 at Navan. So last but by no means least, my final selection of both today and Saturday comes in the last race. It's the 5:40. There's only 5 runners that go to post. It's a 3-year-old maiden, ran over 1 mile, 5 furlongs. Now, obviously, little to no form to go off, but world-class jockey Ryan Moore heads from Newmarket back to Ireland for a handful of rides on the card. And I think one of his best chances has to be Queenstown in what will hopefully, like I say, be the lucky last. I know it's boring again, but I want to side with the big powerhouse connections. You can see that Queenstown is my selection in the 5:40 for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien. Now, clearly connections hold him in high regard with an entry in the Irish Derby already before he'd even made his first racecourse appearance. I think that's telling. Of course, like a race of this nature has to be approached with a degree of trepidation, with all the runners having plenty of questions to answer. But it's hard to look past the dream team of Moore and O'Brien, Queenstown, to hopefully make it 7 wins out of 7 over in Ireland for both Friday and Saturday. Those are my 7 selections. So if you've not noted them already, make sure you grab a pen and a piece of paper right this second. In my Irish selections for Cork today, we've got Sea Gardens and Velna in the 1:58 and 5:23. Then at Kilbeggan, we've got Zaidi and Huntingtown in the 5:10 and 6:40. Then at Limerick tomorrow, Secret Rock in the 5:30. And at Navan, Jackie O and Queenstown for Ryan Moore and Aidan O'Brien, hopefully to land the double on the card at least. Those are my 7 selections. I'm going to be putting them in doubles, trebles, 4-folds, 5-folds, 6-folds, and the 7-fold accumulator. But one other thing I want to ask you, and I want to let you know, is if you watch yesterday's video, I said that this book, the 150 Flat Horses to Follow book, had quite a lot of entrants in yesterday. And would you believe it bagged a couple of winners, including one of the big ITV races. If you watch today's video, you'll know which horse that is. But if you haven't got it, go and grab it. It's $2.99 if you want an e-copy that's sent direct to your email. There's a fair few runners from the book in there today. There'll be a fair few over the weekend as well. And it's only been out about less than a week now. And it's already producing winners after winners and places at big prices. So if you've got $2.99 spare, less than the cost of a pint, if you're down in London, then go and grab yourself a copy. And it is well worth it. If you want a hard copy, then you can get that as well. You can get a hard copy for $8.99 plus P&P. With the hard copy, you also get an e-version, so you get that to your emails within 10 minutes. So you're not going to miss out having to wait for the book to arrive through the post. Definitely worthwhile. Also, a small percentage will be donated to charity as well. We've got to do our bit. But you support this channel. Clearly, you like what we do. So if you do want 150 horses to follow from myself, the rest of the team, and other really well-respected contributors in the world of racing, both here in the UK and over in Ireland, then it's definitely worth grabbing. As always, though, any likes, comments, and shares, put what you're backing either Friday or Saturday. If you haven't done already, make sure you download our app. But fingers crossed, touch wood. And as always, make sure, good luck if you follow.